G'day guys, coming to you from my backyard today. Just going to do a bit of an unboxing session. I went and visited the guys this morning down at Southside Boating and Tackle on South Street. The guys were more than generous and they've given me a heap of stuff that they want me to trial out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of this stuff and do a bit of a review on it and let you guys know what I think of it and how it goes. What we're going to do is I've had a bit of a chat to the boys down there and we're going to just do some like middle of the road stuff, affordable stuff that everyone can use. There's no point going to all the high-end tackle. I mean, yeah, everyone would like to use Saltfix and all the expensive gear, but at the end of the day, do you need to use that sort of stuff? Probably not. There's a lot of stuff that's mid-range that is still just as good, unless you're going to be targeting like super big GTs or massive Kingies and Sambos. I'm pretty sure that the middle of the range stuff is great, providing the drag is smooth, the reel feels nice. I don't see why you need to spend top dollar. So anyway, like I say, the guys have lent me some stuff here to use. First up, I haven't even had this out of the box yet, but they've given me this Caldia 6000D to use. So I'm going to get it out and have a bit of a look. So Justin down at Southside spooled this up with 30 pound braid for me. First impressions, it feels nice and light. I must say it is quite light. One and the handle on. The reel feels nice. Obviously it's a brand new reel. It feels as smooth as anything. These divers, they've got this mag seal. They all run this mag seal, the sort of middle of the road stuff, which doesn't let any oil or any oil out or any water in. I've had a great run with these Diawa mag seals in the past and I'm still running them today. Some of them 7 years old, I'm still running today and they still run smooth as anything. The handle, I really like the foam handle. I don't know how it's going to go with stinky bait hands and so forth on the handle, but it feels really nice, feels pretty positive. Just the divers, they just feel solid. They're made solid, they're light, but they feel solid and like they're going to last. So yeah, beautiful reel, I'm pretty happy with that. Not only that, it looks pretty sexy too. Have a look at it. So that's 30 pound on that one. And to fish that on here, they've given me this here basic gear jigging game rod. This is a PE3 jigging rod. I'm not going to use it for vertical jigging so much, but I'm probably going to use it more as a soft plastic sort of rod. So with this reel on it here, I mean again the rod, it just feels really light but really responsive and it feels like it will cast the soft plastic quite well. It's got a double lock. It's got a double lock here on the reel seat, which is a good idea. So you can screw that on there and then lock it down with the second one, so that's not likely to come back off. So there's the combo there. So what I'm going to do is just probably rig it up. I'm going out tomorrow morning. We're going to go out hunting some kings in shallow water tomorrow morning, so if anything's going to test this out, and yeah, it's going to be kingfish or sambos in shallow water. We've been hooking a few lately. We've been getting monstered by a couple of unstoppables. So we'll see whether 30 pound is actually going to do the job or not. So yeah, that just feels beautiful. I don't know if you can see that there. I wish the sheep next door would shut up. So yeah, that just feels beautiful. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to using that. So anyway, as part of the deal to try out, they give me a heap of these soft plastics. I've had a few people asking me recently to do a bit more plastic fishing and see if we can't catch some decent fish on the plastics. It's not that I haven't caught fish on plastics before, I use the bait because it's effective and it gets the job done. Plastics, to be honest, I'm just lazy. Plastics just take a bit more work. Bait, you chuck it out, you put the rod in the holder and you let it sit. Plastics, you've got to keep working them and it's just a bit more active. I'm not adverse to using plastics, I'm just probably lazy at the end of the day. So anyway, got some of these beautiful bullwhips from Abrolhos Tackle, orange. We got these glow ones. These ones look really cool. These ones, cloudy white they call these, glow in the dark, but these ones are the bigger ones, 7-inch ones, and the smaller ones here, the 5-inch ones. If I was fishing for snapper, I'd probably go with a 5-inch. I don't know, I like to use slightly smaller ones for snapper. Other people have different ideas, but for me, I kind of like to use the smaller ones. Also, I've got these Berkeley power baits. So the power baits, I mean, I don't know if you've ever used the Berkeley power baits and the gulps. If you've never used them, if you're just new to getting into plastics, I would recommend to go with these. These stuff, the power baits and the gulps are as close to bait as you are going to get. I mean, it's a soft plastic, yes, but I've used these in the past. Cast them out, let them sit in a rod holder just like you would with a bait. These things stink. You pull them out of the packet, look at that dirty juice in there. I don't know what that stuff is, but it reeks. You get it on your hand, it stinks, but they attract fish like you wouldn't believe. I don't know what the science and the research, they claim all sorts of things. They work, let's face it. If you're going to get into plastics and you've never given them a shot before, I would start with these sort of things. Anything from Berkeley, the power baits, the gulps, they just work. Like I say, you can use them like a bait or you can fish them like a soft plastic. These are sort of more your more like your curly tail sort of thing. You can get the jerk shads, these are jerk shads. You can get paddle tails. Personally, I like the paddle tails. I just feel the paddle tails have a lot more action at a slower sort of speed. With these sort of things, in the past I've used them, and all I generally do is just drop them to the bottom, wind them up a turn or two on the reel, stick the reel in the holder, and the boat, just the boat rocking is enough just to make it flutter just off the bottom like that. The lures just flutter like that. The snapper love them. It's as simple as that, really. If the fish are around, if they're hitting baits, they'll hit those. I've had times when they won't hit the baits and they'll hit those. I used to fish them side by side with bait quite often, and they would always hit these gulps. Yeah, they're pretty effective. So anyway, tomorrow we're going to give them a crack and see how we go. So obviously you need jig heads to sort those out, so I've got a couple of different size jig heads. Also here, I've never used these before, but they look cool. These are the Berkeley swimmer shads. They're like, I think they're like a vibe style lure. This one's got a paddle tail on it. It's like a soft plastic tail with a vibe style head. I think they're pretty big in the bass scene over east, and yeah, I think they use them pretty hardcore in America as well, so they look cool. This one, I'm really keen to give this one a crack. I reckon the kingies and the snapper will both smash this pink one. I don't know, maybe it's just me, I just like the look of it, but I don't know, I'm going to give it a good crack. At the end of the day, it's the lure that you're using is the one that's going to get hit. If it's sitting in your tackle box, it's probably not going to get hit because you're not using it. So if you're willing to put in the time and bounce it around, willing to sacrifice it to the bottom, because eventually you're probably going to lose it to the bottom if you bounce it around enough. But yep, it's got to be in the water, otherwise you're not going to catch fish on it. So these Berkeley swimmers, these ones have got more like a shad style tail on them. Again, they're like a vibe style lure with a soft plastic tail. So yeah, I'm really interested to see how these go. Actually, I've never really tried this style of thing. It's kind of new to me, but I'm going to certainly give them a crack. Tomorrow we're going to be fishing in shallow water for kingies. On the way out, we're probably going to give it a bit of a jig in some deeper water, but our ultimate goal is to fish for kings. In the shallows, we're looking in 4 meters of water, 4 to 6 meters of water in some pretty heavy country where we're fishing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to not use bait for a while. I'm going to force myself to fish plastics and just move away from the bait totally, and just see if I can't start nailing some good fish on plastics, just to show everyone that it is possible to get on plastics. Like I say, I've been asked to start using plastics and show people how to go about it. I'm no expert at plastics, I'm no expert at anything, to be honest. I'm just, at the end of the day, I get out there probably more than most people, which makes me more lucky than most people. It's not spots, it's just basically time. The more you're on the water, the more chance you have of getting a decent fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie on this head. This is a TT. This is only a 3/4 ounce head. Like I say, I'm only fishing 4 to 6 meters of water, so I don't need anything super heavy. I've got these 3/8 heads here. Actually, are they the same size hook? Yes, they are. I'm actually going to go with a 3/8 head. Now look at it. In that shallow water, I don't want these jigs diving straight to the bottom. I really want them fluttering mid-water and bouncing and fluttering mid-water and bouncing. So I'm going to go with the lightest possible jig head I can get in 4 meters of water. Last week I was out there and I was fishing with just a hook and a soft plastic on it. I didn't even have a jig head on it. They were sinking enough just from the weight of the hook, but these 3/8 will certainly just probably make it a little bit easier to cast. So I'm just going to tie this on. People can use fancy knots all they like. I'll just use the old-fashioned, I don't know what it's called, blood knot. I think it's a blood knot. I've used it forever. I know a lot of people like to fish loop knots on their jig heads and stuff. I'm just fishing good old-fashioned knots like that. I'll trim this off a bit later on when I get a pair of scissors, which I don't have with me. And yeah, tomorrow morning, I don't know, I can't decide which plastic I can get. It's like I'm like a kid in a candy shop, all these new fancy plastics. These ones are pretty sexy, I must admit, so I might give those a try in the morning. Because we're probably going out in the dark, I might start with a stinky one first, a power bait or a gulp, and then when the light comes up a bit, I'm going to move to these Ebola tackle bullwhips, give it a crack. So anyway, stay tuned. Hopefully tomorrow morning we're going to get up nice and early, probably 4:30, head out in the dark. Hopefully tomorrow morning we can get ourselves into some kingies or some big sambos in shallow water. And yeah, really looking forward to putting this boy through its paces. And yeah, seeing what I can do. I'm going to have this drag pretty much locked up on 30 pound. I'm going to fish it hard. The boys said give it a workout and do a review, so tell me what you think of it. So I'm going to give it a solid bashing. Fish locked up on kings, and let's see how it turns out. So hopefully, I mean, it feels bloody awesome. Anyway, you can draw your own conclusions. Whatever gear, everyone likes something different. My opinion is certainly not the be all and end all. Yeah, I like certain things, other people like certain other things. So all I'm going to do is try to mix it up a bit, use a bit of different gear, do reviews on it, let you guys know what I think, and the pros and cons on certain things. So far, I'm impressed with this. This just looks beautiful. It looks nice and it feels nice, and yeah, I can't wait to get it in the water. So see you in the morning. Hopefully it's going to be a good day and the weather is kind to us and the fish are kind to us and we can get into something decent, and then I'll post up another video hopefully when this rod is bent over double and line is peeling off the reel. Stay tuned. Yo!